Night Yogi Aileen, welcoming you to our workshop series. For this workshop, we are going to do a mat-based workshop, meaning to say we're going to be doing seated workshops, seated poses. We will be going through Baddha Konasana, or that's the seated cobbler's pose, and one of my favorite poses, the Janu Sirshasana, or the head to knee pose. So grab for yourself a strap or a strap alternative, and I'll see you down here on the mat. Alright, come on, let's come down on the mat, sit down. Roll your shoulders, just come into a comfortable seated pose first. Roll your shoulders. Oh, a quick workshop on this pose, on the Siddhasana. This pose is the wider version of this one, the what we would call our normal everyday cross-legged pose. In Sanskrit and in yoga, we call this the Sukhasana. But I have been moving away from this pose because I want to avoid that pressure on the heels. I hope you see that. The leg is pressing down on the heel on the front foot, and the back foot, well, try it for yourself, And the back foot, that thigh bone, that femur is also pressing down on the foot, I just want to avoid stress on the heels and the ankles as well for that pose. So my alternative is the Siddhasana, that is heel, and midline of the body alignment for these 3 points. The top of the foot is also down on the mat, so there's no pressing down except for the toes, which are okay, Again, try this for yourself. This is a workshop after all. Try this for yourself. The toes under the thigh here, back of the thigh, is okay because there's not a lot of pressure there. It's just tucked in. We are saving the heels and the ankles from that pressure. So coming to a Siddhasana, or an open seated pose. This pose can be as wide, it's a little, I'm sitting a little wider, or as narrow as you want to as well. It depends on the situation of your hips. So while we're in this pose, roll your shoulders, start engaging your deep circular breath, or your Ujjayi breath if you want to. I also owe the community, my Mad Yogi tribe, a course of pranayama or breathwork that will be coming soon. Okay, let's do cobbler's pose, From our Siddhasana, open your legs wider and bring the blades of your feet together. You can hold on to either your ankles or your shins if you're feeling a little tight, or you can also hold on to the blades of your feet. And I've also, in some of our classes, we also interlace the fingers and cup the toes. We do that as well. It will all depend on the articulation of your hip joints, the situation of your knees, and the situation of your ankles as well. Once the hands are anchored down, the body will naturally come into this curved position. Oh, it's sunny. The weather today is a little wonky. It's very changeable, so I can't do anything about that. So it will be brighter and darker throughout the class. Anyway, anchor your hands on your feet or on your ankles or on your shins. Allow the body to soften here, We always come into our poses through soft transitions. The muscles aren't already activated coming into a pose. They need to be soft, so let's do that. I'm going to hold on to the blades of my feet you anchor your hands wherever you need to, yeah? So from here, soften the body. You can even rock side to side. We will touch on the practice of scooping out the gluteus later, but we never do that in my classes. Anyway, anchor your hands, allow the body and the shoulders to soften, and then engage the body. Do a spinal wave. Belly in and up, chest up, head up. Yeah? On an exhalation, soften. Let's do that again. Keep your body soft. I'll adjust my hands on my shins to show you that you can also do this with this paired back option. Soften the body and lengthen the spine up. Spinal wave. Belly in and up, chest up, head up. Now, whichever option, modification you choose, whether your hands are on your toes or higher up on your shin, lengthen the spine, hug and lift, yeah? After you wave the spine up, I normally see practitioners collapse the chest in still and come into this kind of pose. So the chest is collapsing, you suddenly disengage the pose and you're just hanging in the pose, yeah? There's not a lot of muscle engagement here apart from just keeping us in the position. It's the same when the hands are interlaced and cupping the toes or holding on to the blades of the feet. After you wave, lengthen up. The sternum is going up, is pointing up, yeah? The chest is not collapsing in. I'll show you. So lengthen up the spine here. Don't suddenly collapse this way. I hope you see that difference, yeah? The arms still feel like they're engaged. There is a strong tether-like sensation between the arms. There's a strong lengthening in the arms, strong lengthening in the upper back as well, yeah? And a strong opening in the hips. Big tendency, once again, to just collapse here while maintaining the illusion that your arms are still lengthening. They're just anchored there and you've lost the engagement of the rest of your body. Yeah, so don't collapse the sternum in. Keep it nicely lengthened. So this is our cobbler's pose or Baddha-Konasana. Lengthen up the spine. The sternum is being lifted up. The arms here, if you can add an additional activation of the upper back, squeeze or retract your scapula. Yeah? It has a stronger engagement globally all over your body, your back, the anterior of your body, your legs, your arms, even your hands anchoring on your foot or on your shin or on your ankle, wherever it is anchored. There's also a strong engagement there because your hands necessarily have to grip so that you don't kind of fling towards the back, yeah? So that is the full pose, full engagement of cobbler's pose. Soften your body and let's do 2 spinal waves in our cobbler's pose. Once again, your hands can be on your shin, your ankles, holding on to the blades of your feet, which is the deepest variation of the pose, or interlace your fingers and cup your toes, yeah, whichever you want to choose. Soften the body here. You can even rock side to side. Never pull on your gluteal muscles. We will discuss that next. From here, 2 spinal waves. Belly in and up, chest up, head up. Add that scapular retraction if you can. Breathing. The head here is nice and loose, actually. But try not to drop your head this way. Make it neutral. Soften. Allow your body to soften. Allow that back to curve. Yeah? Soften the body. And one more. Just one more. Belly in and up. Chest up. Head up. Add that scapular retraction. Adjust your feet. Bringing them a little closer to you with that scapular retraction. Breathing. And soften the pose. Good. Now, pulling out of the gluteals. Never ever do it. It has been a common practice in yoga classes to instruct that. And it's been so ingrained that even some of my students who've never heard me say to scoop out the gluteals still do, because they got it from some other source, yeah? The reason why we do not want to do that, well, let's touch on the reason why teachers instruct that first. They say that so that the sit bones come into direct contact with the mat. The problem of that is the gluteals protect your sit bones. Yeah? If you scoop it out, you are actually removing that padding from your sit bones, which they need. As humans, we sit on our rumps. Yeah? We sit on our gluteals. They protect the sit bones, as I said. And more than just the sit bones, they also protect the coccyx, our tailbones, and the sacrum. That it's actually similar to the shape of our hands when the fingers are connected. So the gluteals protect this whole joint complex when we sit down. And when we pull that out, well, again, like I said, we are removing that padding. In addition to that, the muscles should never be pulled out of their places anyway. Yeah? When you do that, when you pull your gluteals out, you are introducing unnecessary lengthening in your muscles and in your soft tissues, your ligaments and your tendons. Yeah? You're introducing that lengthening that they don't need. So, to get that connection, yeah, I can hear some of your questions. Then how do we really connect the sit bones down on the mat? Just sit and rock side to side, like we did, yeah? This then naturally distributes that padding around the sit bones and gives you that sense of connection of your sit bones down on the mat. So, we've done the Baddha, we've done the not pulling out of your gluteals from under your sit bones. Now let's do my favorite pose, the Janu Shirshasana, or the head to knee pose. You can use this with a regular yogi strap, barring the availability of that. You can use any length of fabric, non-stretchy though, yeah? Let's do our Baddha once again. Let's have one spinal wave here. Anchor your hands, soften the back, then come into your spinal wave. Belly in and up, chest up, head up, lengthening here. From here, without collapsing the body down once again, just soften the body without collapsing down. Soften the body Lengthen out one leg. You can mirror me. I'm lengthening out my left, so you can do your right if you are mirroring me. Bring your inner heel, in this case my right heel, closer. Your toes can be tucked under. Now, Janusirsasana, we want to gain that 90-degree angle of the femurs. Right now, it's not, I'm almost there, but if you're not there yet, maybe this leg is a little bit in, bring your hands in fists, bring them behind you, lift the sit bones up, angle your legs, and come down. The sternum will naturally fall in the apex of this triangle. Yeah? Now, what we want to do for the forward fold, the full pose of this pose, or the full version rather of this pose, we want to be facing forward. Yeah? So have a twist. While the sit bones are anchored down, still have that intention of twisting from the base of the spine going up. So from the hips, turning, navel, sternum, and nose. Yeah? Adjust yourself here as you need to. Now the sternum will never come directly in line with your front leg, or else we're already coming into that closed belly twist, which we also do, but we're talking about the front-facing pose here first. That sternum will never come in line with your front leg, but it can come parallel. Yeah? Don't force that twist if that is not the intention of the pose yet. Again, we're not doing the closed belly twist yet. So that sternum will just come at the most parallel in line with your front leg, not really directly in line. Yeah? From here, I will do it sideways. There's a lot of options when it comes other way. There's a lot of options when it comes to the depth of this pose. Yeah? Your fingers can either come into claw shape, just flanking your leg, and wave the spine up, belly in and up, chest up, head up. And if your hamstrings are still really tight, and this is the most that the body can tilt forward, which really there's no tilt, this is fine. Yeah, don't judge yourself. This is okay. What you can concentrate on here is coming into your dorsiflexion with your ankle, lengthening up the spine and lengthening out the hamstrings as well. Yeah? So this is a good pose. This is a valid pose. A word of caution with in terms of this dorsiflexion of the ankle, make sure that your heel doesn't lift up. Yeah? That means that your knee has come into hyperextension. We might think that, that it introduces more lengthening in the muscles of the extended knee, the hamstrings, the gastrocnemius, the soleus, the calf muscles. Yeah, but while it does feel like that, you are also stressing your knee joint. You're hyperextending it, which we don't need, because we can gain that back leg lengthening via other movements and positions of the body without compromising that knee. Yeah. So grab your strap. Again, you can stay high or soften the upper body. Bring your strap around the balls of your foot, the bases of your toes, not really the arch, yeah? So the balls of the foot, hold on to your strap as close to your foot as possible, nice and tight, and soften the body here, yeah? Now let's activate the upper body and the arms. Belly in and up, chest up, head up. And I'm allowing my hand, do this as well, allow your hand as you wave the body up, allow your hand to slide on your strap as you need to, and lengthen up here. And this is good. If you think you can afford to come a little deeper, so keep adjusting yourself, rock your body side to side, yeah? Like we talked about for the gluteal muscles and the sit bones. If you think you can afford to come a little deeper, soften the body, walk your hands closer to your foot, and wave the spine up, trying not to slide the hand until your body says, yep, you need to give me a bit of slack, then slide your hand and give yourself more length here in your anchor, your arm, and to your strap and to your foot, yeah? So you can be this side or soften, walk your hand close to your foot, and wave yourself up once again. The deeper you go, you will feel that lengthening, that opening rather, here in your bent leg, in the iliofemoral joint of your bent leg. Now, let's add another activation. And I will do it on the other side. Let's add another activation. I want you to look at the shoulders this time. Yeah? So, gain your transitional pose. Hands on your strap. Your ankle is dorsiflexed. Heel is pressing down. Yeah? Let's wave the spine up. Belly in and up. Chest up. Head up. Now add a scapular retraction. And allow your hands to adjust as well. Deep, full breath. So what we're introducing here is more activation in the upper back as well. Your shoulders here will start from a forward position and then bring them to the back. I hope you can see that difference, and I will do it this way. Coming from this pose, lengthening up. This is already activated, yeah? You can add that strong shoulder blade, scapular retraction, and you will actually feel your muscles along the back line, along the back of the knee as well. Once you do that additional activation of your upper back. And breathe here. Deep, full breath. Now release the pose. Roll the shoulders. If you've been doing that whole workshop in this pose on one leg, swap it over now. Okay? Swap it over. And let's just quickly do 2 spinal waves per side in this head to knee pose, and then we'll wrap up this workshop episode. So hold on to your leg or soften your hands close to your leg. Soften the upper body. Breathe here. And let's wave ourselves up. Belly in and up. Chest up. Head up. Add that scapular retraction if you want to. This is a high pose, a high version of the pose. Breathing. And exhale. Soften. Try to do a low version. You can use your strap, or you can hold on to your foot, or hold on to your leg. You can also do a bind here, by the way. The opposite hand of your extended leg is the one that holds on to the wrist, yeah? So in my case, extended leg is the left, so my right hand holds on to the left wrist and bring it on the arch of your foot. Or if you're feeling confident and you don't have any kind of wrist injury or anything like that, you can also place it on the ball of your foot, and we will do something even deeper. Yeah? So soften the body in your transitions, that is coming into your pose, and let's wave the spine up. Belly in and up, chest up, head up. And if you're bound and you can still add that tiny bit of scapular retraction, you can do so as well. Now, if you're really feeling adventurous, you can bring your left ankle, so the bases of your toes are pressing on the inner wrist, yeah? You can push that forward, bringing your ankle into a plantar flexion, and you're coming even deeper in the pose. I think I have to adjust myself. Lower. Here. Deep, full breath. Now I'll show you again on my other side, sideways, so you can see. Pare it back, release the pose, roll the shoulders, come back to your Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. Soften the body, wave the spine, activate the back line of your body. Anchor your hands on your feet. Breathing. Now soften the body without collapsing the sternum in, without sinking it in. Extend your other leg. I will do it sideways. Extend your other leg. Just 2 waves, one high and one deep, yeah? So soften your hands, flanking your leg, and wave the spine up. Belly in and up. Chest up, head up. Hug and lift, strong back, nice L shape of the body. If you want a kind of midway pose, yeah, let's try that. Soften the body, tilt the hips, so you've come into a half angle between upright and down on your leg, so a half angle, and wave the spine up, belly in and up, chest up, head up. You're extending your arms forward or holding onto your leg, or indeed using a strap, yeah? And you're still activating the back line of your body. You're hugging and lifting. You're retracting your scapula. You are pressing the heel down, and you're stabilizing your ankle. So you're not letting your hands pull your foot too much into a very steep angle of a very acute angle, rather, of your dorsiflexion. Yeah, a 90 degrees, stabilizing it at 90 degrees. So there's a little bit of a pushing into your strap or into your hands here. And soften, release the pose. Now let's try that deeper pose with the introduction of that plantar flexion and strong flicking of the toes in our Janusirsasana, yeah? Once again, if you want to bind, opposite hand is the one that holds on to the wrist. Good. Soften here. Bring your wrists to the bases of your toes. And let's wave the spine up, belly in and up. Chest up, head up. You can stay here, or let's try that really deep version. Try to plantar flex your ankle. Your toes are flicking, you're pushing into your wrists, but you're stabilizing your wrist, especially of that bound hand. Yeah? So squeeze your hand to stabilize that wrist. And then add that strong back activation as well. And breathe here. and soften. Now, those are the really activated versions of Janusirsasana or head to knee pose. Of course, you can also make it more restorative by gaining your stance or gaining your pose, waving the spine up, and exhale. You can also just melt forward and down. Your arms can rest beside you. If you have a bolster, a small stool, or your blocks, or you can also stack pillows, cushions on top of each other, and you can make this a really restorative version of the pose. But I'm just going to show you. While this is a restorative version, you can maintain that tiny bit of a twist with your sternum and your extended leg parallel to each other. Or you can also honor the angle that your your spine wants to come in, meaning to say, we talked about this earlier, the apex of this triangle, and you can also do it that way. But I hope you've noticed that my extended leg remains in its active form, even though the rest of the body can come into a relaxed pose. This leg is still active. Why is that? Because we want the hamstring to get used to a lengthened state. The muscles seize up usually as a defensive mechanism. Let me just say that again. The muscles seize up. We feel tightness. We feel a lack of flexibility, mostly because the muscles protect us from overstretching. This restorative pose reassures our muscles that we are safe, so that they can relax and they can lengthen. So don't allow this extended leg to become lazy. Even with the rest of the body in a relaxed position, still activate that leg. And you will be able, all of this will allow you eventually to come into really deep forward folds, whether that's in a standing pose or in a seated pose. It is the pose that got me into my deep forward folds. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Oh, by the way, very quick note on Janusirsasana, especially for those who have really tight hamstrings. You can do this, sit in front of your sofa. Let's say my wall is my sofa. Sit on the floor, turn on your favorite show, and come into your pose. Once the commercial's done, come up, relax your shoulders, do whatever, go to the toilet, have a drink of water, and then when the show comes back on, to the other side. It's a really nice timer for doing asymmetrical poses, and I guarantee you, your hamstrings are going to identify that lengthened state as a safe state, and forward folds will be accessible to you. So I hope you enjoyed this workshop of our cobbler's pose and our head to knee pose, and I will see you in the next workshop.